Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Simple English Talks. I'm so glad you're here with us today. Whether you're listening for the first time or you've been with us for a while, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hey there, friends. It's so great to have you here. I was making breakfast this morning and I almost made a big mess in the kitchen. I made scrambled eggs and they were actually pretty good today.
Oh, that's funny because I made a mistake this morning, too. I made coffee, but I forgot to put the coffee in. It was just hot water. I don't know what I was thinking.
That is such a classic morning mistake. But you know what's interesting? We just used the word make like 4 or 5 times already. And that's exactly what we're talking about today.
Yes. Today's topic is the word make. It's one of the most common words in English, and it shows up everywhere, in conversations, in questions, in everyday situations, and we're going to help you use it naturally.
By the end of this episode, you'll understand the different ways to use make, you'll know some really common expressions with it, and you'll feel much more confident using it in real conversations.
We want to hear from you too. Tell us in the comments, what do you make every morning? Is it coffee, tea, breakfast? Write it down there. We love reading your comments.
And if you're new here, please like this video and subscribe to Simple English Talks so you never miss an episode. We post new English lessons regularly and we'd love to have you as part of our community.
Okay, let's get started. This is going to be a really useful lesson. I promise.
Let's do it. Time to make some great English progress together.
All right, let's start with the most basic meaning of make. At its core, make means to create something or to produce something. You use your hands, your brain, or your effort, and something new exists.
Right. And the simple structure is really easy. It's just subject plus make plus object. So, I make dinner. She makes coffee. They make mistakes. Simple, right?
Let's look at some everyday examples. I make my bed every morning. That means I arrange the blankets and pillows. She makes a list before she goes shopping. That means she writes the list. He makes videos for YouTube. That means he creates them.
And here are a few more. We make plans for the weekend. My mom makes the best soup. The students make notes in class. All of these use make to talk about creating or producing something.
You know, when I was learning English, I used to say, I do my bed, which is wrong. The correct phrase is, I make my bed. That's a really common mistake for a lot of learners.
Oh, totally. And we'll talk more about do versus make later because that's a really big one. But for now, are you with us, listeners? Can you think of something you make at home? Say it out loud right now. I make blank. Go ahead, say it.
Now let's look at the negative form. For negatives, you just add don't or doesn't. So, I don't make my bed on weekends. She doesn't make coffee in the morning. They don't make a lot of money.
And for questions, you move the helper verb to the front. Do you make your own food? Does she make her own clothes? What do you make for breakfast?
One thing I love about make is how natural it sounds in small talk. You can ask someone, what do you make for dinner usually? And it immediately starts a really friendly conversation.
That's such a good point. And here's something fun to try. Pause this video right now and write one sentence in the comments using make to describe something you create. It could be anything: food, art, music, plans. Let's see what you make.
Great practice. Now let me also mention, make can work in the past tense too. The past tense of make is made. So, I made lunch yesterday. She made a mistake. We made a plan last week.
Made is irregular, so you do need to remember it. But it's one of those words you'll hear all the time, so it will start to feel natural very quickly. Okay, let's do a quick recap. Make means to create or produce something. The structure is subject plus, make plus object. Past tense is made, and it works in positives, negatives, and questions.
Okay, now let's look at something really interesting about make. It's not just for physical things. You can also use make to talk about feelings, when someone or something causes a feeling in you.
Yes, and this is where it gets really useful for real conversations. The structure here is a little different. Subject plus make plus person plus adjective or verb. For example, that movie makes me cry. Your smile makes me happy. This weather makes me feel tired.
I love this use because it's so emotional and real. Like I can say, loud noises make me nervous, or good music makes me want to dance. These sentences feel very natural and personal.
And they're very common in conversation. If someone asks you, why do you like that song? You can say, because it makes me feel good. That's a perfect natural answer.
Let's compare formal and informal use here a little bit. In informal conversation, people often say, that makes me so happy, or it makes me laugh every time. In more formal writing or speaking, you might say, the results make it clear that further research is needed. But honestly, for everyday conversation, the emotional use is what you'll use most.
Now let's do a quick practice activity. I'm going to describe a situation and you, yes, you listening right now, say a sentence out loud using make. Ready?
First situation, you're watching a funny video online. Can you say a sentence? Something like, this video makes me laugh. Great. Second situation, you're eating your favorite food. Maybe, this food makes me so happy.
Third situation, you're sitting in traffic and you're late. Try. Traffic makes me stressed. See how natural that sounds. And notice, we use the present tense here because it's a general truth about how things affect you.
Here's a tip. First, think about an emotion. Happy, sad, tired, excited, nervous, calm. Second, think about what causes that emotion. Third, connect them with make. Music makes me calm. Exercise makes me feel strong. Coffee makes me happy in the morning.
Can you write one of those sentences in the comments? Tell us, what makes you happy? We really want to know. Write, blank makes me happy because blank. It's good practice and we love reading your answers.
One more thing here, you can also use make to talk about causing someone to do something. Like, the teacher made the students repeat the sentence. My mom made me eat vegetables. The movie made everyone cry.
In this structure, notice there's no to before the second verb. We say made me eat, not made me to eat. That's a really important grammar point, and we'll come back to it in the mistakes section. Great work, everyone. We've covered using make for feelings and reactions, and this is one of the most natural and common ways to use it in real conversations.
Now we're getting to the really fun part. Make appears in so many everyday English expressions. These aren't just grammar rules, they're phrases that native speakers use all the time, every single day.
And knowing these phrases will make your English sound so much more natural. Let me give you some of the most important ones. Make a decision. Make a difference. Make a phone call. Make an effort. Make a mistake. Make money. Make sense.
We use these so often that they almost feel like one word, like you wouldn't usually say take a decision or do a phone call. It sounds wrong. With these expressions, make is the correct choice.
Let's look at some real-life examples. I need to make a phone call. Can you wait 1 minute? She made a really difficult decision last week. He always makes an effort to be on time. Does that make sense to you?
Does that make sense? Oh, that one is so useful. People say it all the time in English conversations to check if the listener understands. You can also say, does that make sense? When you finish explaining something.
Here's one for politeness. Instead of saying, can you quiet, which sounds a bit harsh, you can say, can you make less noise, please? It's a softer, more polite way to ask for quiet. Little things like that make a big difference in how natural you sound.
And speaking of make a difference, that expression means to have a positive effect on something. Volunteering really makes a difference. Even small actions can make a difference.
Let's talk about tone and delivery for a moment. When you use these expressions, try not to stress every word equally. In natural speech, the important word, usually the noun, gets a little more emphasis. So it's make a decision, the stress is on decision. Make a mistake, stress on mistake. Make sense, stress on sense.
Here's a little mini practice for you. I'll say the beginning of a sentence and you complete it out loud. Ready? Before I go to bed, I need to make a blank. Maybe you said decision or list or phone call, all correct.
She works really hard because she wants to make blank, maybe money or a difference. Love it.
I didn't understand that. Can you explain does this blank? You probably said make sense. Perfect, you're getting it.
Now, listeners, this is important. Write down 3 of these expressions in your notebook right now. Make a decision. Make an effort. Make a difference. Practice saying them out loud tonight. These will stick in your memory much better if you write them and say them. We believe in you.
Okay, mistake time. And honestly, this is one of my favorite sections because mistakes are just part of learning. I made so many mistakes with make when I was learning English, so let's talk about them without any embarrassment.
Me too. The biggest one I see, and honestly it's the one I made myself, is confusing make and do. This is probably the #1 error for English learners.
Here's the general rule. Use make when you're creating something new, a product, a meal, a plan. Use do for tasks, duties, and activities. I make dinner. You create the food. I do the dishes. It's a task or chore.
Let's look at some side-by-side comparisons. Incorrect. I do a cake for her birthday. Correct. I make a cake for her birthday. Incorrect. She makes her homework every night. Correct. She does her homework every night.
Why is that? Because homework is a task, something you complete, not create. A cake is something you produce from ingredients. That's the key difference.
Here's another one. Incorrect. He made exercise this morning. Correct. He did exercise this morning. Or even better, he exercised this morning. Exercise is an activity, not something you produce.
Now, remember this structure we mentioned earlier? She made me to go. That's wrong. The correct version is she made me go. When make means to force or cause someone to do something, there's no to. My parents made me study. The rain made us stay inside. No to needed.
One more common mistake, using the wrong tense. Some learners say, yesterday I make lunch. But remember when the past tense is made. Yesterday I made lunch. Made, not make. It's irregular, but it's used so often you'll memorize it quickly.
Honestly, the best way to remember these is just to hear them and use them. Don't stress too much about the rules at first. Just try, make mistakes, and learn from them. That's literally how everyone learns language.
And here's the encouraging thing. Native speakers make mistakes too sometimes. The goal isn't perfection, the goal is communication. If someone understands what you mean, you're doing great. Keep going.
Okay, it's practice time. This is my favorite part of the episode. We're going to play Choose the Correct Sentence. I'll give you 2 options, and you decide which one is correct. Say your answer out loud. Don't just think it, actually say it.
Ready? Here we go.
Situation 1. You're talking about cooking. Option A. I make dinner every night. Option B. I do dinner every night. Which one is correct?
Option A. I make dinner. Because dinner is something you create and produce. Great.
Situation 2. You're talking about chores. Option A. She makes the laundry on Sundays. Option B. She does the laundry on Sundays. Which is correct?
Option B. Does the laundry. Laundry is a task, not something you create. Nice work if you got that one.
Situation 3. You want to say that music has an effect on your emotions. Option A. Music makes me happy. Option B. Music does me happy. Which is correct?
Option A. Music makes me happy. We use make to talk about causing feelings. You're on fire.
Situation 4. Your friend is explaining something complicated. You want to check if you understood. Option A. Does this make sense? Option B. Does this do sense? Which is correct?
Option A, of course. Does this make sense is a fixed expression. It always uses make. Well done, everyone.
Now here's the challenge. Can you create your own sentence using make and write it in the comments? It can be about your day, your feelings, your routine. Anything. Just make sure to use make correctly. We'll read through as many as we can.
And remember, real conversation matters more than perfect grammar. Even if you make a small mistake, the most important thing is that you tried, you communicated, and you kept going. That's what real English learning looks like.
Wow, what a fantastic lesson today. I'm genuinely so proud of you for sticking with us through the whole episode. Let's quickly remember what we covered today because it was a lot of really useful stuff.
Yes, we looked at three main uses of make. First, make to create or produce something. I make coffee. She makes plans. Second, make with feelings and reactions. That makes me happy. Loud sounds make me nervous. Third, common expressions with make a decision, make a difference, make sense, make an effort.
And in the mistakes section, we talked about the big one, make versus do, and also remembered that the past tense is made, and there's no to when you say things like, she made me laugh.
Here's a little reflective question for you to think about. What's one thing from today's lesson that you want to use in a real conversation this week? Think about it. Maybe it's, does that make sense? Or, this makes me happy. Pick one and use it today.
We really hope this episode helped you feel more confident with the word make. It's such a powerful little word, and now you know how to use it in so many different ways. You're making real progress. And yes, that was intentional.
If you enjoyed today's episode, please give it a like. It really helps other English learners find simple English talks. Share it with a friend who's learning English. Leave a comment below and tell us what you make every morning. And most importantly, subscribe to Simple English Talks so you're here for every new lesson.
We make these episodes for you because we genuinely love helping people learn English, and it means so much when you're here with us.
You're doing amazing. Keep practicing, keep making mistakes, keep learning. We'll see you next time.